yeah, I think even 2026 would be a good year to do both 5 and 6 Rowan and cut. I've been involved in all the Rowan and cuts, but this thing has ended up being not what I expected it to be. Najua, I've always been very opinionated, and that's the reason why, like, the walikuja iko nini late wanasikiaga nikitumia phrase kama Kajito mbe wanasema ni ego, but it's not ego. That was the attitude of the show from day one. So it's always been like about the opinion. So ingine, I'll say this surprised me. Like, if you told me on that day when we did that video, you're reacting to the whole calligraph thing, that this is how it would turn out to be, I think I'd have gone a different path. I'd not have done it. Najua, I'm big enough to admit that I didn't expect it to be this deep. Najua, I expected that this is mtu tumejuana for over 20 years, and I'm close to 20 years, no, close to 20 years. I think so. I expected him to be able to know me. Like, if you've survived na mimi long enough, you know that I'm very opinionated, and you know one thing about me is, and this is something that as I've grown, like, nimekam to realize that I clap for people a lot. I never take other people's success as competition. But for 2026, what are we going to do, man? We're going to make it bigger, better. And yeah, but pia kuna raya zinaniuliza, what about the weekend update? You need to get like another comedian, put on zizi. That was meant to be the three of us, and you made Daddy too evil. I don't think we'll ever have a version of that. Will I still hang out with comedians? Yes. Will I still to go to comedy shows? Yes. Will I still try to produce a comedy show? Yes. I really want to produce another comedy show. Nacheki. That's just one of the things that I've always wanted. I'm a big stand-up comedy fan, and yeah, but pia tukimalizia this lazima nikuambie that in May
niuliza 5 solo lakini sasa mwafreeka juu sasa ndio mlikuwa mnapigangana
yes,
ashatuambia alikuwa pale kwa Eotwe alituambia next year inafaa mfanye 5 na 6 so unachiki ndio maana saa mbogi iko zile za hata mimi ndio nakuulizia tu hapo
so mimi sasa
sababu nikiona ukisema hivyo inakaa ni kama umereactive sababu yeye mwenyewe amekuja akasema story ya 5 na 6
yeah in fact that's the reason why because hakuna mahali penye tumeongea na msee yote kuhusu Rowan and Cut. Tujaongea na hiyo raya.
So unajua yeye alisema amekushtua.
Yeah, tumekuwa naye hapa hivi. Nimekwambia raya ijai ni call. Unajua the fact that unaweza sema uongo. Now I have to address those kind of things. Sasa umenipigia simu au hujanipigia simu. Hatujawahi bonga. Hii story sijawahi kuiongea. Unajua nilichukua tu na respect. Vile tulimaliza pale nikaona vile hiyo mraya behave. I was really hopeful, man, for 5 and 6. I'm a stand-up comedy fan. That's one of the things. Like, kama unanijua, most probably kaujapatana na mimi kwa show ya kina stand-up collective, umepatana na mimi somewhere. Like, I've always been a fan of that. So I'm going to miss this. This is one of those things that I'm really going to miss. And yeah, I want to produce a few comedy shows. One of the interesting things, I think, this came to me when now what I to know them for this amount of time. We are allowed to have different opinions on a lot of stuff, and yes, that's number one. Another thing that I've come to learn about the game, because I'm a student of the game and I learn a lot of stuff about it. Another thing that I've come to learn about the game is you need to collaborate. People who can actually assure you and show you on the right path are other creatives. So I won't lie to you, I'm the sort of dude ule nishaambia this year. I won't lie to you, I've called Butita a couple of times kumuitisha advice. I've called Abel kumuitisha advice. I've called, like, I call people najua, and I've called Obina kumuitisha advice. So this is something that I normally do. I just call people up and I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm going through, this is what I'm trying to do, how can I do this? And people advise me on how to do 1, 2, 3 things. So in that process, what happens is I have created a system where I need other people. Najua. So I need the likes of kina Ufweneke. Najua. Ufweneke is such a cool dude. Opena kunile. Hata yeye mwenyewe akindungia, big bro. So I like, and if I look at Ufweneke, I'm like, this guy has achieved much more than I've achieved, and he's achieved things that I only dream of. So so these are people that I reach out to. So in the small iko Nini world that I've created, it's
collaboration. Kama nikimsikiza leo Mangware alikuwa anasema vile amecall Obina so that anaweza toa live noma kama zake live shows za YouTube. Amecall Butita, amecall ingia kina Abel Mutua, ile tu kuwa consult, kuwauliza yeye hapa na hapa na hapa. So alikuwa anasema hiyo ndio kitu nyanaona kama wewe una lose on collaboration.
So anyone who doesn't call Obina Abel Mutua is not a part of Kenyan entertainment, because I know like over 10,000 comedians who don't call Obina, don't call Abel Mutua, and they're doing good content. Does it mean they're isolated? Ama what does isolation mean? Because mimi hakuna mahali tushabonga na hiyo raya nikamwambia mimi nataka kuwa included in anything. Mimi nikienda events za comedian, you can ask them. Juzi hata Daga ameniita his own shit. Unajua? Alikuwa anafanya hii shit hapa hivi levels, akaniambia rapcha, show up. You can ask them. Mimi nilikuja pale nika watch comedy nikatoka. That's how I have been from the time I was a teenager. Mi nakujanga hata kama kuna wasanii watu wenye wanajua, people who know my behavior. I do not want, if I wanted to be their friend, kina Butita walikuwa hapo, if I wanted to be their friend, would I need someone to be Butita's friend really? Mi nimekuwa kwa comedy for long. If I want to be Butita's friend, I just call Butita. It's so simple, unajua. So kusema ati niko isolated, it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense because it means mtu yote mwenye ongei na Obina, Butita, Nani, Abel Mutua, now they are not part of Kenyan entertainment. Kenyan entertainment is wide and huge and big. There's no one who is isolated. Kuna comedians who are very good na hata hatuwajui. Tutakuja kuwajua kipata they are big. They did not talk to anyone to be included in anything. This is entertainment. You don't get included in anything. You do content, people watch this person, people watch this person. There's no inclusion anywhere.
So ikikamsako hiyo story yote ya calligraph una feel worth it kwa kusanisha after kuja.
Never forget that. I always say this thing where my fans watakuchocha and they'll tell you how you do not need this, you do not need that, you do not need these people, all you need is the fans. But you come on the ground and you realize kwa ground vitu ni different. You need people, you need to collaborate with people, you need to, that's why sometimes like I hold my opinion back on a lot of stuff. Kuna vitu zile siongeagi, you'll find that I don't like if I see a creative who's really shining and they're really doing their thing and making it in life and what, ni rare sana find me like commenting negatively about it. Kuna watu watakuwa like but what about that other guy, that was not a creative. Unajua, if it's someone is running a scam, they're running a scam in quotes. And
as a man and as a comedian, hakuna mahali nishakuwa na historia ya kuchochwa. Ningekuwa mtu kwa kuchochwa, si ningekuwa napiga stand up kama ile Churchill alikuwa anafanya. Ya walio wanapenda ugali. Why did I not do that? Ningekuwa mtu wa kuchochwa, ningekuwa nimefanya so as if you look at my life, ningekuwa mtu wa kuchochwa, ningekuwa nisha. So the moment msema wewe ni mtu wa kuchochwa, basically what they mean is you're stupid. Au tumia ki. Now the moment msema wewe you're stupid and then anasema I'm trying to reconcile, na umefanya like 2-3 videos ukisema vile mimi ni mjinga, vile I'm carrying feelings, now all the evidence on the table is showing you're the one who is carrying feelings. Because if calligraph doesn't react, you don't react. So your feelings are directly connected to calligraph's feelings. So every time calligraph is hurt, you are hurt too. So you're the one who has feelings. Me, the only thing I have ni content. Mimi naongea, nasema calligraph is fake. There's no feelings hapo. Ukitembea hata kwa yaenda tu hata kwa comment section ya Kali, there's a comment there about your story naonge. It is not like kitu nimekam nayo from the sky. The guy talks like 50 Cent na anatoka Kayole, mahali Kayole ndio kuna sheng ile hata sisi wenyewe tuiele. So you can't represent Kayole na kauongee kama watu wa Kayole. It's just in black and white. Mtu akona akili anaweza ona. So kama tumekuwa tunaongelelea hiyo story, ningesema at least ira ina address histo. Hizo hiyo kuni address. Uniambia baka wewe unajua ujui color grading. Unajua hiyo timba huwezi jua. Unajua hiyo timba huwezi jua kama ilikuwa timba.
Entitled to the opinion. If you feel like that was the biggest mistake. Am I leaving the door open? Yes, I'm leaving the door open. Will I be the one to reach out? No. At some point, you can only reach out so much, and you can only, in the olive branch, you can only whatever it for so much. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that your Renan Cut 4, it's released and people watch it, and I I want to also make it clear I don't own the copyright. I've not trademarked Rowan and Cat. Have I trademarked iko Nini? Yes, that one.
And I'm never coming back here again. Unajua? This is gonna be the end. I'm never coming back again. Na in my mind nilijua itaishia. So the moment Imraeli alianza kusema niko na feelings, mimi nimenyamaza, nafanya podcast yangu. Wewe ndio unaongea than me. You see yourself as someone who knows more than me. So unaona uchali nikimsomea mbele ya watu, people are going to call me a hero. It is okay. Nilichukua na nikale.
Kama kuna mambo ya maganji. Kuna klasi zima hapo. Ulifeel labda anza kwa na kutalk down juu hauna maganji ama hauna maganji mingi labda
nilifeel ni kama nilifeel ni kama
kuna ile part ya kuna ile part hata wewe mwenyewe ulitajanga kwa hiyo show hiyo nyasa ile ile tangangori uliongeleleanga about story ya maganji.
Definitely nilifeel ni kama ana support msee because anaona kuna ganji. Definitely
ya matrao ilikuwa hadi uende
niende nichukue matrao. I remember even let me tell you the most weird thing really happened. Hii ni kept secret sijaisema. Tukiwa hapo after kumaliza episode hii anasema, "Mzee just tupange episode uende hizo majins." Niko naangalia huyu msichana chizi.
So ni episode sasa.
Chizi mzee just unajua, mzee unajua kwa na kipindi hicho. Rapcha ukaenda hizo majins unajua inaweza kwa kitu moja kali sana Kenya. So ndio nilikuwa naangalia huyu chali. Niko like sasa niko wako si mahali niko shamwaga na damu. Nilikuwa na wacheki tu. Niko kwenye si mabeshte, niko shamwaga na damu hapa. Because kuna madhara huwezi fanyia mwanaume. Na ukiona umefanyia mwanaume na amekuacha, there is a reason why they have done that. Ukiwa kwa barabara, this is now a masculine conversation. When you're on the road, uone mwanaume umempiga ngumi ya kifua na amekwambia staki maneno, leave him alone. You don't know why amekwambia. You don't know the reason why. So the moment nilitoka pale na nikanyamaza, nimenyamaza for a few months. You don't know why nimenyamaza. So you kwenda kudanganyana, uchali achukua kisimu, uchali amechocho, uchali akona feelings, uchali akona nini? Why the fuck are you saying all those things? Unajua? Mimi sitengenezagi content na mabeshte. Ushisikia hapa hivi nimekwambia siku moja atakuja tu attack beshte yangu fulani. That's not the way I make content. From the word go. Mimi sitengenezagi content na kuattack mabeshte. Utengeneza content na kupeana stories. Stories ikiwa funny ni sawa. Stories isipokuwa funny pia ni sawa. So
I was really hopeful, man, for 5 and 6. I'm a stand-up comedy fan. That's one of the things. Like, kama unanijua, most probably kaujapatana na mimi kwa show ya kina stand-up collective, umepatana na mimi somewhere. Like, I've always been a fan of that. So I'm going to miss this. This is one of those things that I'm really going to miss. And I want to produce a few comedy shows. One of the interesting things, I think, this came to me when now what to
Rowan and Cat brand is dead. Hiyo imeisha. So when Rapcha goes back on stage, which I believe I'm working on next year, I want to do like a 50 or 55 minute material, itakuwa iko na jina.
Na sasa unajua mahali sasa swali nakujia ni mbona ulimada hiyo nini Rowan and Cat hiyo series